Let me express my profound gratitude to you, Your Excellency, for affording us this priceless opportunity to learn, gain knowledge, and appreciate from renowned experts from the World Bank Group, the African Peer Review Mechanism.
Exciting and very fruitful cabinet seminar focusing on our state-owned enterprises. Of particular importance today was the whole issue of how the state-owned enterprises are owned, either through line ministries, either through specific ministries, either through the office of the President Cabinet. We considered all those issues because it seems that the way state-owned enterprises are owned and controlled is critical to their performance. I think you also agree with me that we've had challenges as of now in terms of the performance of our state-owned enterprises, both in terms of how they are led, strategies, the corporate governance issues, performance issues, compliance issues, all those issues that have bedeviled our SOE sector. And we as government were determined to make progress in performing our state-owned enterprises. So the seminar was about that. What was unique about it is that we received 3 presentations from key experts in the area. One expert was from the Africa Peer Review Mechanism. We have been looking at the performance of state-owned enterprises right across Africa, but also right across the world, and trying to understand the various ownership models, but also trying to make recommendations to African countries to help them improve their state-owned enterprise performance. The other presentation was from an expert from the World Bank in the United States, basically who gave us a good overview of the various ownership models around the world. Again, and we spent some time looking at the ownership model in France, for example. It also happened to come from France. Most of it, sure.
This government is right through and listening rather than asking questions, listening to understand, listening to be educated, listening to be guided. And I thought that was a very phenomenal, development in our, our universe of idea generation and also policy, development. And to you, Honourable Minister, thank you very much for asking us from the private sector to participate in the way we did today, to provide the moderation to this very important discussion. Thank you very much.
Your question is also in 2 parts. One is just more general, but then the other is specific to those parastatals. Generally, what we're doing this morning is exactly that, which is to recraft our ownership model such that it can enable us to reboot some of the parastatals, get them back to profitability, so that we can implement effective turnaround strategies by exerting ownership and authority, but the type of ownership and authority that enables us to cause them to turn around. Specifically on the ones that you raised on the GMB model. On GMB model, actually we've made considerable progress in the sense that we split GMB into 2 entities. Is the rigid grain reserve element, and then the silo food industry, which is the commercial element. And those have started operating since April last year, operating independently as entities. So that has been a successful, we call it a state enterprise reform process that we managed to achieve our goals, but over time we want to make sure that they remain sustainable. When the GNB as a strategic grain reserve element is exactly that. So we as government stand behind GNB to make sure that it can play that role, it stays sustainable, and we support it financially. But Ruben, you're right. The ills that have bedeviled these parastatals are many. It's corruption, it's underperformance, it's poor corporate governance, and the list is long. So really, corruption is an issue, and again, that speaks to issues around the lack of effective oversight or rather the wrong oversight as well, inappropriate oversight, not just ineffective. Because in some cases, there have been cases where even the line ministries have been involved in some of the issues that you raise. So then, but with a more centralized model, then we expect to have a better quality in terms of capacity to monitor these enterprises and improve performance and cut back on all the other ills that we observe, including corruption, poor performance, poor corporate governance.
In regulation in one individual, that is a seedbed for corruption. Because then who regulates the regulator? And this is precisely why this seminar was focusing on the appropriate ownership model. In some areas, total debunking, regulating and owning. In others, assigning special development focused enterprises